it's nice to have you here. I was very happy that your film was so good that was easy to select it. That is not something obvious, because in any case, I know your film of before, but I have to say that this film, I think, is maybe, I can't say that it's more personal film, because in any case all your films are very personal, because you are more like in the field of the animation documentary, so obviously are very personal. But this is something that came from in some way from the history of your family, and from something that you wanted from your family to tell a story that you were not able to have finally. So it's a sort of impossibility to make the film that you wanted to do, and you make something else, taking the idea from these difficulties that you had. So I think it's very clever to be able to go over.
Yeah, it's a making of a film I didn't want to do.
Yeah,
in a way.
Something like this.
So yeah, it's a film I was carrying for a very long time. Actually, I was turning around this topic since I was a kid, as it's a film which is hard to talk about, because actually everything is in the film. All the process of try to dig with this subject of the film is about war between France and Algeria, and my relationship with my grandfather, who was a soldier at this time. And my first approach was to make comic strips or a film about this topic. And as the years passed, I was stuck with the subject, and I tried several times, and it was impossible for me to tell the story. So after a certain point, I decided to tell the story of it was impossible for me to make the film like this. It's okay? Okay.
Traduco in italiano.
Yeah, okay, go.
Allora, il film è un film che a lui veniva, cioè la storia che voleva raccontare è una storia che lui ha in mente fin da quando era bambino, ed è in rapporto al fatto che al rapporto fra la Francia e l'Algeria, che nella fattispecie della sua famiglia era suo nonno che ha fatto il soldato come parte dell'esercito francese proprio durante il periodo della guerra d'Algeria, quindi la guerra di liberazione poi per gli algerini, eccetera, e questo tipo di argomento gli interessava molto, ma lui non riusciva a spingere il nonno a parlare delle cose che lui voleva sentirsi dire, e quindi il film è sulla impossibilità di riuscire a fare il film che avrebbe voluto fare in qualche modo, cioè tutto è lì dentro, anche l'espressione di quello che lui avrebbe voluto che suo nonno gli raccontasse.
When I had this idea of this kind of making of a film, I thought it was very clever and new, but then I realized there was a lot of film based on this.
Quando è venuto in mente l'idea di fare un film sull'idea di fare un film, sembrava era un'idea molto intelligente, ma poi si è reso conto che ci sono molti altri film fatti per lo stesso motivo.
So it's my third short film. I made Madagascar Journey Diary, Cargo Cult, and this is my third short film. And I think it was the most difficult to achieve. I thought the one before were hard to do, but this one was really a nightmare.
Questo è il terzo film che lui fa dopo Madagascar, Canet Voyage e Cargo Cult, e erano duri anche i film precedenti, soprattutto il secondo, ma questo è stato il più duro da realizzare. How much time it took to achieve?
It's hard to say, because it's hard to count what time you spend doing nothing, just thinking about the film, going back and forth. So actually making the images took maybe 3 years, but writing, rewriting, doing application forms for fundings and starting again and again. I don't know. I started to do some images in maybe 2000.
Ho cominciato a fare alcune immagini nel 2000, quindi diciamo che ha preso 3 anni per fare le immagini, però calcolando il tempo che uno sta a scrivere e poi riscrivere, perché il soggetto diventa che cambia in tempo reale, e poi riscrivere, rifare le application form per i finanziamenti, eccetera eccetera, insomma diciamo che ha preso it takes a part of your life that is quite big as you are young.
Yeah, there was a long period where I didn't work at all on the project, and then I had the idea of making a film about a film, and it took me like an afternoon to write the first draft of the script, like 15 pages of script, like one afternoon, and then we start to look for the funding, and after a couple of months I applied to CNC, which is the main funding for film in France, and they said no, and they give me a very detailed feedback with all the points that I missed and all the things that were still not treated in the movie, you know, all the things I was voiding, and they saw that very clearly, and it took me 1 year to rewrite.
But was useful for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Quindi lui in una notte ha scritto 15 pagine di sceneggiatura del nuovo film sul film che avrebbe dovuto fare, l'ha mandato poi al CNC francese, al Centro Nazionale del Cinema, che è l'ente che finanzia maggiormente il cinema francese in generale, non solo i cortometraggi ovviamente, e loro gli hanno risposto dopo 2 mesi con una risposta estremamente dettagliata, con tutti i punti che secondo loro non andavano bene o che bisognava evitare, eccetera, eccetera, e lui ha detto che questo è stato molto utile a lui per capire come proseguire. You were going over this? You rewrote everything?
Yeah, and it took 1 year to rewrite, and actually every time people don't have the fundings from CNC, people are pissed off and say, well, it's unfair. And the feedback I have, it's very subjective, because some people say they like it and some people they don't like it. And here, for me, it was really helpful, because all the feedback were like very, very clear and detailed, and they really understood what I was looking for. And I was still half the way of going through the process of digging this story.
The jury of the CNC is somebody who... somebody who take care about cinema.
They really read
read and try to understand it.
Yeah.
Or maybe understand even better than you in some way because of the external part. You want to speak a little bit about the technique you were using for the film?
I'm not sure it's the most interesting point. When I start the movie,
we can also don't talk about.
I can go around this subject. Actually, when I start this movie, usually my previous films, they are really like heavy, technical, with a lot of colors and details. The technique is loud. I have a geek animator background, so I like to do complicated things. And for this movie, I was like, okay, the most important thing is the topic. It's about what I'm gonna say, and I don't want the ideas getting polluted by the too heavy images, too complicated images. And so I start to develop very simple style with just black lines, no backgrounds. And after a while, it becomes like something totally crazy with a lot of layers and different techniques and blah, blah, blah. And actually, it was a way for me to protect myself and to keep the subject away and to take the most time as possible to make this film, to make it very painful and like, you know, the 12 steps in the Church of Christ.
Okay, yeah.
And
to beat yourself.
Yes.
But I try to translate. So, as before, siccome prima lui faceva i film abbastanza complessi, perché insomma c'ha un retroterra da animatore, quindi che sta lì a fare tutti i disegni, colorato bene, eccetera, eccetera, è molto preciso, devo dire, Bastien nel suo lavoro. Questa volta cercava di fare con un tratto molto pulito, molto semplice, in bianco e nero, eccetera. Poi però poco a poco si è trovato a mettere layer su layer, livelli su livelli, colorare questo, quell'altro, è diventato ancora più complesso. Che bello quando arriva lo spritz senza ordinarlo, è come una specie di... No? L'hai ordinato
I like
tu?
this Q&A.
you ask for spritz?
No.
So spritz, maybe... Forse è meglio, è suo, no? È tuo, it's yours. You want?
Yes.
Can I have another one? Posso averne un altro? Grazie. No, visto che il mio sogno si stava avverando, ma si è infranto in un bicchiere di niente. So this is yours, mine will arrive later.
Ok.
So, stavo dicendo appunto che e tutto questo di far diventare complesso il lavoro gli è sembrato a lui come se fosse da una parte anche una sorta di autopunizione o di salita al calvario per il tipo per l'argomento che era trattato, e comunque per anche riuscire ad allontanarsi da questa cosa che evidentemente gli pesava molto dal punto di vista proprio anche mentale e personale, no? It's like very heavy things for you.
The previous film I made them because I really want to, and here I was feeling more like I was on duty, you know.
In questo film sentiva quasi più in dovere di farlo che non avere il piacere di farlo, come era successo nei precedenti. But I have to say it's a very good film, so maybe it's better to give you duty to do. Prossimi progetti, next project. You have something running?
Yes. So when I was making this very heavy film with torture and war and sad things, I was like, okay, next film will be something light and fun and psychedelic, whatever, I don't know. And so now I'm making a project of TV series for 5 times 50 minutes about war in Chechnya.
A very light topic.
Yes. Yeah.
War in Chechnya.
Yeah, you want
It's
to
fantastic. Ha deciso per il prossimo progetto di stare più leggero, vista la pesantezza di questo, e quindi ha accettato di fare una serie televisiva da 5 puntate da 15 minuti, 5 for 15 minutes.
5 times 50.
50. 5 volte 50, quindi sulla guerra in Cecenia.
It's co-written with Julie Nobelen.
Scritta insieme a Julie Nobelen, che è qua con noi, anche lei è animatrice. Salut Julie. Good luck. Now it's time for spritz, I think.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bastien.